quick pass. Renfro off his hands and is intercepted again. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick.
Welcome back to 5-Star Matchup. If you like what we do, please make sure you subscribe now. And if you're in the Christmas spirit, hop over to patreon.com/5SMU to support the show for just $4 a month. Well, friends, happy holidays. Obviously, it's been a weird week for us in Steeler Nation, but I've got an inkling that our boys in black have come bearing pleasant surprises. Perhaps that's just my typically jolly disposition. Let's start this off with a pair of decent runs for Josh Jacobs, followed by a frustrating catch and run first for Foster Moreau. As I always say, if you want to attack the Steelers, go right at the middle, because you and I both know the last time the Steelers got good play out of the inside linebacker position, I was still in my mid-late 20s. Of course, on 2nd and long, the Raiders forget you can't block Godzilla Hayward with a single mortal man, and the mythological beast slams Derek Carr for the momentum-halting sack. However, any joy is immediately dashed when the Steelers play their famous Grinch defense on 3rd and 16, allowing an easy conversion for Derek and the dumpy Raiders. Steelers force a 3rd and medium in the red zone, and back to haunt me again is Hunter Renfro, who scuttles into the end zone after a near deflection by On the Button. Raiders 7, Steelers nothing. Over to KP, and he's facing and converting an easy pitch and catch 3rd and 4 to get the Steelers' normally slow starting offense moving early. However, on the following 3rd and 10, he can find nobody and dumps it off underneath for the pointless no-gainer to Zach. Oh, this is really going to be one of those nights? Not on Christmas! Steelers D finally settles down with a run stuff followed by a pass deflection by who else but the earth-shattering demigod himself, and it's right back over to Kenny Powers, Pickett, and the Steelers offense. Continuing his late resurgence for the 2nd straight year, Naj grabs a 10+ chunk, and he was a huge asset start to finish. Whoa, almost oops, but actually awesome throw outside the numbers by young Kenny to Deontay gets the Steelers simmering as we head already into the 2nd quarter. Is anybody gonna cover Deontay? No? Oh, you can't? That's right, I forgot. Weekly reminder that Kenny Pickett is sneaky athletic. Shades of 2007 playoffs if you recall this year a real one, as the Steelers bafflingly tossed this one outside to Jaylen Warren for an instantly doomed play. Out trots Boz, who you already know is... Hey, where's the music? Steelers stay off the scoreboard. Robert Spillane the nearest defender to Devontae Adams. Thanks, I hate it. As if to immediately shush me back up, Bob the Brick Spillane fires through with Slammer and Cameron to knock the Raiders back a few finally. Cam had, in my opinion, his most dominant game of the season. Another 3rd and 2, and it's another on the money conversion, this time between the pick-a-pair of rooks, Pickens and Pickett. At this point, it should be no longer foreign that he of the name Warren is no stranger to the 1st down marker, and the Steelers are cooking again. Another good one from Jalen sets up a 3rd and 1, and for the first time in a while, Derek Watt gets duped on the conversion, and the Steelers failed to pick it up. Doesn't matter though, because Goat Sneak Kenny plunges forward for the obvious conversion. Never fails. However, on the next 3rd and 8, Kenny fires on the run, and it's just a little high for Pat Fry, who can't quite haul it in. Steelers settle for the consolation prize, and thankfully this time, Boz is indeed. Raiders 7, Steelers 3. Just because I'm not allowed to go into this already emotional halftime feeling even a little bit positive, the Raiders obviously move it down the field with a nice run from Jacobs, followed by giving Derek Carr 45 minutes in the pocket to lob it deep for a field-flipping gainer to Waller, and the Raiders are fixing to get the points back before half. Carr tries it again, this time down the middle on 3rd and long, but fortunately this time it lands harmlessly out of bounds, and the Raiders, like the Steelers before them, are forced to settle for the 3. Raiders 10, Steelers 3 as we head into the half. If you'd like a future for this show, I gotta be honest with y'all, YouTube makes it a challenge. If you've watched more than a handful of these this year, I'd really appreciate it if you could support us on Patreon for just $4 or $7 a month. You get some really cool goodies in the mail and it really helps us out. If not, that's cool too, just make sure you keep watching. Now roll the game. Into the third quarter now, and it's either winning or losing time, and just between you and I don't think Kenny Pickett cares much for losing time. Kenny gets him cooking with a pair of nice completions to the unstoppable on the night Pat Freiermuth, who truly is becoming one of the best tight ends in the league, paired with another third down conversion to George Finger Pickens, and the Steelers are again on the attack. Did you know Kenny hasn't thrown an interception since the Eagles game? Oof, my bad guys, I jinxed him, I accept fault. Just an ugly duck with a bad look for the first-year signal caller, and while it's not all on him, I'm worried we're all drawing nearer to that fateful Christmas Eve with an L snooze. Because there is a Santa, and Santa, like everybody else, hates the Raiders, Derek Carr chucks an equally ugly duck that's out of reach for his receiver and becomes a reawakening interception for Art the Mauler and the Steelers' suddenly dynamic defense. Canada gonna Canada though, and the lack of quarterback flexibility leads to throwing an obviously beaten screen that derails this drive before it even gets started. Oh Steve, don't be a Scrooge, it's Christmas. Okay, fair enough, because all he does is convert thirds. Clutch Kenny does it again, hitting a wide open Deontay on the run. Najee refuses to go down by a single arm tackle because of course he does, but he can find no such luck against 3 full Raiders on third. And the Steelers questionably go for the long field goal in bad wind instead of trying on fourth, and Boz misses again. Still a 6-point game. Because Hunter Renfrow is only good when he's not on my fantasy team, he rolls away from Sutton to get the Raiders in motion, and then he infuriatingly does it again on a scramble drill by Carr on 3rd and 2, and the Raiders are suddenly in danger of putting this game away. Never throw near Minka! Apparently Derek Carr has never learned the most obvious rule in the NFL, which is to never throw near the best free safety in the sport, and make no mistake whatsoever, Minka Fitzpatrick is exactly that. And Derek Carr's cold weather struggles continue. Always one to rise to the occasion, the Steelers' measly offense can only muster a wimpy 3 straight incompletions, 1 batted at the line, and it's right back to the Raiders' also stalling offense. What's his name? It's Trent Jordan, aka TJ Watt, aka the reigning defending defensive player of the year, and don't look now, but he's rounding into form. Because of course he f***ing is, Renfrow is open again down the middle and Carr finally converts what feels like a huge third. And... fuck. It's a Christmas miracle. Josh Jacobs rumbles for a bunch, but praise Odin. The rare offensive face mask calls this right back, and the Steelers dodge a bullet like their name was Neo. Just for good measure, the young Pro Bowl snub Alex Highsmith, who continues to prove me wrong each and every week, rockets through for the world-ending sack on Carr as we head into the 4th and decisive stanza. A crappy punt, and it's against the Steelers? Well, now I've seen everything. Come on, Kenny, here's the chance. Rejoice, for he has risen. O.M. Najee, this man could hurdle a dump truck, but why would he want to? I don't get how he does this so easily. Hell, I'm not even sure I get how a human can do this at all, but it's firmly filed under things you love to fucking see. Killer holding knocks the Steelers back a good bit, but Kenny P could honestly care less, so he hits a pair to Deontay, followed by Warren, and the Steelers are yet again approaching the business zone. Sadly, Pickett again plays it safe on 3rd and fires short of the sticks, and the Steelers are forced to trust again the brass-balled, ice-blooded kicker with the heart of gold, who is... never a doubt in my mind. 10-6. Can the Raiders put some nails in this coffin? Well, they'll certainly try, and ooh, so most definitely fail. You just aren't stopping Cam Hayward on a night when Mean Joe Green cried because we lost Franco Harris. Sorry, it's just not happening. Get out of here. Carr plays it safe in the Steelers' corral, and I think you know what time it is. Time, of course, for the beleaguered rookie quarterback who played his college games in this very stadium to clinch, finally, his first iconic moment in the black and gold. And the Steelers, of course, are more interested in getting the clock moving. Woof. Again? Let the kid throw! 3rd and 2, and in she's gotta have it mode, Kenny fires an almost oops, but thankfully it's nothing more than an incompletion. But it's a very wimpy drive, and now a must-stop situation with just 4 and change on the clock. There he is again. I think that if I were an opposing team playing Cameron goddamn Hayward, I would just go ahead and stop running the ball at him. What do you think? Carr airmails a quacker on third, he stunk all night, and it's right back over to Kenny P and the Steelers offense. And even though I faked you out last time, this, ladies and gentlemen of Steelers Nation, is what it's all about. 1st and 10, Pickett gets time and he fires short and safe to the Naj man to get them and the clock moving. Smartly, not over-rushing with plenty of time left, Pickett gets the call in calmly and gets them lined up as we near the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 4, Pickett scrambles to his right, keeps his eyes downfield, and finds who else but Pat Freiermuth exceedingly open on the scramble drill. And the Steelers are fixing to not only drive, but win this game. Can't you just feel it down in your jingle bells? 1st and 10, and Kenny again buys time and fires right at the sticks, and I do mean right at the sticks, to Muth for the diving and incredible catch that I think turned this game as much as any single play. Muth is becoming so good in front of our eyes. How about this whole young core right now? Oof. Do not love that. Look, if Najee Harris is in the middle of the field, I think I might 1, have a guy near him, and 2, tackle him once he gets it. Raiders fail to do either, and the Steelers are inside the Raiders 25 with time ticking down to 90 seconds. Still 2 timeouts in hand. A pair more to Naj. 1 you're glad he caught and 1 you're not, and he actually didn't, and suddenly the Steelers are facing a perilous 3rd and 5 with their lives on the line. Where do you go when that's the case? Well, there's always money in the Muth stand. But here, the gargantuan tight end comes up just a tick short of the sticks, and you know it's gonna be Pickett sneak season with the game on the line. Because you are never stopping the sneak goat, aka sneak god Kenny Pickett, the Rook falls forward for the conversion, and the Steelers are heartily in business inside the 15 with still an eternity of time that sets up our 5-star
play of the game. 50 seconds to go. From the Raiders 14. Pickett over the middle. Touchdown! George Pickens with 46 seconds to go.
Well, there it is. The first moment of Kenny Pickett's career as a Steeler. We don't know right now how long that list will eventually end up being, but on Christmas Eve of 2022, we all found out what the very first one was. And it was this iconic laser of a throw, splitting the defenders and hitting his man George Pickens in stride for the Acrisure shaking touchdown that delivered cheer for all those in black and gold, and nothing but brutal coal for those in black and silver. Boz stuffs the kick, but the Steelers aren't out of the woods yet, up just 3. Steelers 13, Raiders 10. Devontae comes close to making an amazing grab on another terrible throw by Derek Carr. And on the very next play, Derek Carr apparently loses a contact lens, or he never would have chucked a wobbly duck deep in the vicinity of On the Button Sutton, who is more tightly buttoned than an executive's collar on this picturesque pick, to just about lock it down for the Steelers. Only thing standing in our way of Christmas elation is the matter of the Raiders' 3 timeouts, but Yins needn't worry, as there's a Hayward for that too. And the Steelers wrap up their 5th win in their last 7 tries, to drag their record to a respectable 7-8. On the night when we all so solemnly watched as our team honored our beloved and newly fallen hero, Franco Harris, notable for the most famous play in NFL history, it was only right that we walked away with a smile on our faces, because I think that's how Franco would have wanted to leave us, don't you? I don't think I can sum it up any better than the rookie quarterback himself.
We were great all game. I thought we were moving the ball well, but we weren't putting it in the end zone. So, you know, we came through when it mattered the most, though.
Here we go. And if you're still here, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. And if you hadn't joined on our Patreon, I'd really appreciate it. This show is about to go into the off season, and if you'd like it to have a future, the support would really help. You can do that at patreon.com/5SMU. Happy holidays.